Hi, I'm Kevin and welcome to the channel. Today I'd like to talk about polishing the frets, a very easy thing to do that makes your guitar feel like it's brand new. If you're new here, welcome. We love everything guitar on this channel, so if that's something you're into, feel free to subscribe. We'd love to have you here. This is the Telecopy I built back in 2018 and it has a Warmoth neck that needs to be cleaned pretty bad. So there's no real wear as far as grooves go in the frets or anything like that that you see after years and years. Now, I did notice there was little parts where it was just beginning, and so this was a perfect time to do this polish on this thing. I mean, you can see here all the grime and everything, and you know, I don't do this but maybe once a year, if that. So I don't really do it that much, and I don't like to put a bunch of chemicals and stuff on my fingerboard. So what I'm going to do is run through the quick polishing, and then I will scrape the fingerboard, and if that is something that you want to see later on, leave it in the comments below, and I will make a video for it. Here's a little closer look at the fretboard and the frets. As you can see, they're just a little bit dull. There's no grooves, there's no flat spots or anything like that. So we're just gonna do a quick polish on them with the mesh pads. So what you're gonna need is some kind of cleaner. Some guys use lemon oil. I use this Dunlop 65. I can use it on the whole guitar. And here are the little mesh sanding pads. It goes from 320 grit all the way to 12,000 grit, but it's not every number step by step. And what you do is you just take the scratches you make in it from cleaning it, and you make the scratches finer and finer as you move through the finer sanding pads. So by the time you get down to the very last one there, it's nice and shiny. So depending on how bad your frets are, you do not have to start at 320. You can always start at 600 or 1000, just depending on where you feel like you need to fix the scratches with. You don't want to take a bunch off, especially at the lower numbers, because you don't want to flatten the tops out. All you're trying to do is give it a nice clean and get the scratches that you make from the coarser grit sandpaper off with the newer, less coarse sandpaper over time. And so I also do this thing, I don't know what to call it. It's like, I call it the flapper, because I don't know what else to call it, but where you can take these little pads, and they're semi-hard, right? So you can just swipe down the fretboard vertically like so, and this will run over the sides and the tops of the frets. It really helps the frets keep their shape and not flatten out any. And we do this for every single step we take. So after you get done working the top of the frets, flap it back and forth, move on to the next finer sanding pad, and you just keep doing that till you get to the end. And yes, it might seem a little tedious, but once you feel the difference after playing it, you'll say it's worth it. If there is something you have a question about, please feel free to leave it down below and I'll do my best to answer it. And this is what it looked like after it's all done. Now, as you can see, they are a lot shinier now. And so what happens is it feels very slick and nice while you're playing. Good time to do this would be during the weather change setup. Like if you set your guitar up in the spring and fall when it gets colder and hotter and more humid. That's a great time to do this. It's just something that a little bit of this will preserve your frets and your fret wear a lot longer than just wiping it down with something and being on your way. So you don't have to do it a lot, but you know, a couple times once a year or something, and you'll be good to go. And this is what it looked like after it's all said and done with a wider shot here. And sometimes guys will use steel wool, 4-0 steel wool. That's what I used to use all the time, but your guitar pickups are magnet, so you have to tape off the pickup area. But since I started doing it this way, I really like it. It's a lot less messy and it's really easy. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to subscribe, like, or comment, and we will talk to you on the next one. Thank you.